and this is also a game that I am super interested in. I'm always interested by anything by AEG just because I have historically liked a ton of their games, and this one looks like a lot of fun, and I also absolutely love the theme on this one because in this game players are working competitively as trees. Players are going to be communicating and growing through the use of mushrooms and underground fungal networks, which is actually something that does exist, and I've heard about it before, and it was originally popularized, I think, by this book called The Hidden Life of Trees, which is a book that I've never read, but it is on my list because the whole concept here is just so weird and unexpected that I kind of want to know more. But the way that this game works is that you're going to be starting out with a 3x3 grid of mushroom tiles located at the center of the table. And each of those mushrooms will provide different types of nutrients, special abilities, and objectives to complete for victory points at the end of the game. Each player is also going to have a hand of these tiles, and on your turn you can pay the associated resources in order to put another tile out into that grid. And then you have the choice to perform one of the actions on your board. You can either place sapling tokens into the intersection points of these tiles, securing your access to those adjacent tiles, or instead you can place root tokens off of one of your saplings in order to stretch it into those tiles, granting you access to what those tiles have to offer, which is normally some amount of nutrient resources or resource conversion, with one of those resources being a special resource, and this one is known as carbon, because anytime that players gain carbon, they'll be able to keep it on their player board and then later spend an action to place it on top of one of their saplings. And this is important because when you put a carbon on one of those saplings, it's going to allow you to score the objectives of any two of the tiles adjacent to that sapling. If you're able to put another carbon onto that sapling, it's actually going to turn that sapling into a tree, which then grants you access to all the scoring objectives of the tiles around you. Players will then be adding up all their victory points according to the scoring conditions that they're able to gain access to out on the tiles, but then also any victory points earned from the shared objective cards that are out on the table. The player with the most victory points wins the game, and if you are interested in this one, you can check it out, all of it linked in the description below.